Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, we are going to talk about deck number 700, Negan the Cold-Blooded. Now, I know there was some emotion that went down when the Secret Lair Walking Dead came out, but when I saw Negan, I had to get those because they were black border legendary creatures. Um, I have done three others already in the series, but Negan really kind of grabbed me, and let's get to it. So for 5 mana, red, white, and black, I know there is a name for that wedge, but it eludes me right now. Mardu? Anyway, 4/3 human rogue. When Negan enters the battlefield, you and target opponents each secretly choose a creature that player controls. Then those choices are revealed. That player sacrifices those creatures. So ideally, you would get two, but there is a chance that you're going to pick the same creature that they do. The more creatures they have, the odds go up in your favor that you get the maximum value of two. But then, here's the part. When an opponent sacrifices a creature, you create a treasure token. Now, in these three colors, the red, white, and black, black is, of course, the sacrifice color. So, there's a couple different axes here. The sacrifice aspect and the treasure aspect. So, and this is the first deck. I am super proud. 700 is a big milestone for me. This is the first deck I've ever done that is completely 100% foil. I had built this deck over a long period of time. I was lucky enough to get some things when they were a lot cheaper than they are now. But that being said, the very first card in the deck is, of course, Lucille. This is Negan's weapon of choice in the series. Gets +2 in Menace. Whenever equipped creature attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature. If they do, you create a Walker token. Now, the Walker token is, of course, the 2/2 zombie that we are all used to. So we are playing three colors, so let's get into our color fixing. We have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. Now, the three color aspect of Chromatic Lantern was kind of a have to here because I want to be able to cast the cards. And some of these are very, very mana specific. You're liable to have 3 black pips and then 2 white pips and 3, there's a bunch. So we have the Charcoal Diamond and the Fire Diamond. I did not use the marble because white is not as predominant in the deck as the other two. Burnished Heart, Spectral Searchlight, Rakdos Locket, the Lotus Bloom that I had a chance to get autographed by Christopher Rush, but way back in the day. And then I'm uncertain as to Bolas Citadel. I don't know if this is ramp because it lets you not pay the cost, or if it's card draw because it gives you access to more spells. Either way, it's a good card. A little bit of card draw, Crushing Disappointment, Thrill of Possibility, and Village Rites. Now, obviously, the Village Rites is in there for the sacrifice, which I have two. Let's go here first. Flicker of Fate. Because Negan has that ETB ability, we want to try to get, more than one use per cast out of it, right? Because, the commander tax and what have you. So Flicker of Fate and Ghostway. Of course, Ghostway is an amazing card to prevent that, board wipe on you anyway. So let's look at this sacrifice part of it. We have in here, again, no particular order, but this one I absolutely love. Razia's Purification. Each player chooses 3 permanents and then sacrifices the rest. That is a monster. Now, granted, this affects us too, so we're going to keep Negan and probably something else. Maybe 2. I don't know. I have had a chance to play this deck once. I believe y'all saw me play it over on One More Mana. It didn't. I didn't do a whole lot because the game ended quickly through a combo, as I remember. Could be wrong. But Tavona's Hunger. Now this, Ascend it's not hard to get 10 permanents in Commander. We all know that, especially when we're making treasure. Every time somebody sacks something, we get a treasure. So each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you have Ascended, if you have the City's Blessing, each opponent sacrificed half. Yes, half, Eddie. Half. We have, Plague Crafter that makes everybody sacrifice. Demon's Disciple and Fleshbag Marauder. Those had to be in there, right? Jury helps when we sacrifice. So I felt like that was a perfect fit. We have Soul Shatter. Each opponent sacks a creature or walker with the highest mana value. Okay. Angorass Rampage is just they're sacrificing something. But it's whatever you need. An artifact, a creature, a planeswalker. Chaos Guile. Each opponent sacrifices a creature is one of the two options you get to pick. Exiling all cards from an opponent's graveyard. That's actually not bad. I'm also running a Turmoil's Crypt in there for just that purpose, because there's some decks that just operate well with things in the graveyard. It's almost like a second hand. We have the Dictative Erebos. Yeah, I lose, you lose, just like that. And then the Grave Pact. Managed to get a Russian full Grave Pact, so that was quite beautiful. That's the sacrifice part of it. So let's look at the treasure part of it. Have Smothering Tide. It just, it generates so much treasure. Brass's Bounty, while expensive at 7 mana, it does generate a lot of treasure. Revel in Riches, of course, is the win con for the treasure aspect of it. If you've got 10 treasures, you just win. And this also gets you, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you get a treasure. 2 treasures, one from this and one from Negan. We have the Goldspan Dragon. If we need them, now they sack for double mana. And then Gadrak. We're probably going to have 4 more artifacts, right? Just simply because of the treasure. And you create another treasure here for each non-token creature that died this turn. So a lot of things are done. We're getting a lot of treasure. And because a lot of things are dying, that's why I wanted to, Rise from the Grave or Animate Dead to get, because some of that stuff may be useful to us. I might want to. Now, Ghostly Prison is just one heck of a Magic card. It's going to slow down the bleeding, if you were, because I have a feeling that once you put Negan on the board, people are going to know what you're up to. We have Tvagaroth Bloodsky Sire. For no other, this is a reusable tutor. That's what it is. Liliana's Devotee. Lucille does make walkers, so there again, helping out the old zombies. Now, Black Vice is in there because it is a cruel card, and it fit the theme of Negan, right? Turn 1 Black Vice, in Commander especially, can deal, I have seen it deal 10, 12, 15 damage just for the 1 mana, 1 card investment. It is cruelly efficient. Now, a card that is not cruelly efficient is Browbeat. It is in there also because it does match the flavor of Negan. It's not particularly good in Commander. There is a better version that says unless target player pays 5, you can choose the person that has the lowest life, or choose the person that you think will give you the cards or whatever. But in a Commander multiplayer environment, this is my probably weak card of the deck, but it does fit the flavor. Now, Shatter Shadow Spear is going to lead into the removal section. Because there is a possibility that there are more creatures than we can get stuff to sacrifice or what have you. So we have a hefty removal package here. And having hexproof or indestructible is a problem. So that's why the Shadow Spear is in here to help that out. Now, we have, for removal, I mean, this is a bunch. Terminate. Rip apart. I love this card from Strixhaven. Vindicate. Murder. Mortify. Sword to Plowshares. Fracture. Disenchant. And I wanted a little more artifact destruction, so that's why I got the Pillage to go with it. Unlicensed Disintegration. Faith Fetters. Now, I really like that Faith Fetters says enchant permanent, okay? Can attack or block, and activated abilities can't be activated. I really kind of like this. Faith Fetters does have its uses. The last one that came to mind was Staff of Domination. I slapped it on. Vraska's Contempt. Hitting the creature or the walker. Comet Storm. This is as much of a late game finisher as it is a removal spell. Dreadbore. Cast Down. Crib Swap. In Garrick's Wake. Wrath of God, because like we don't have a whole lot of creatures. And then Path to Exile. Now, that brings us to our non-basic lands, which in most decks is not the amazing part, right? Because I churn through, I build so many decks that I don't have the opportunity to, optimize the mana base like it should be. Well, I had some time with this deck, and it's really full, so we're going to push that down. So, yeah, it's a fairly decent land base. We have the 3 applicable fetch lands. Arid Mesa, Marsh Flats, Bloodstained Mire. That can go get the 3 shock lands. Sacred Foundry, Godless Shrine, and Blood Crypt. The rest of these are kind of what you would expect, Fabled Passage, Mana Confluence. That is a beautiful Savai Triumph. Oh, that is so beautiful. Terrain Generator. That is such an amazing card. Especially if you get it, early game. You can just keep dropping basic lands. To which I will show y'all now the basic lands that I chose to use for this deck, because I really wanted to make 700 special. Obviously it's Mountain, Plains, and Swamp. I used the was it Unsanctioned? Mountain, Plains, and Swamp. For obviously there's many copies of each one. But then let's see, where are we at? Oh yes. Command Tower, Terramorphic Expanse, Battlefield Forge, Sulphur Springs, Caves of Koilos, Exotic Orchard, Path of Ancestry, Canyon Slaw, Opal Palace, Evolving Wilds, Sulphurous Mire, Snowfield Sinkhole, and Rupture Spire. And that is it. That is number 700. It is, as I said, the first deck I have built to be 100% foil. It's been, and I put it in the foily zombie sleeve, of course. Even the treasure tokens and the walkers, of course you got the walker tokens to go with it, and the treasures that were also foil. I really look forward to actually playing this deck. As I said, the one time that I played it, it's hard to really justify that as playing it. But that is what it's number 700. It's been a very long time in the making, but we're here, and I guess now I've got to move my forest painting over to the next block because with the next deck we're starting that block. So I do appreciate everybody. We are at, as of the time of recording this, about 880,000 views, which is just boggles my mind. But I do appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. The patrons, the viewers, everybody. If you have liked or subscribed or clicked or anything, thank you so much. We're 5 years. We're just about 5 years in this project. So, not close to done. When I started, I don't think there was much more than 700 when I first started this 5 years ago. And I just started making videos. Whew, some of those early videos I probably need to redo because, yeah, I just learned as I've gone, and I'm still learning. But anyway, we got to put 700 on the wall to get it finished, don't we? That is number 700. Like I said, if thank you so much. I can't say it enough. It really means a lot to me. I had started to do this, and I thought that I was pretty much doing it for my own self, as just documenting what decks I have done. And yeah, who would have known 5 years ago that they would have printed as many legends as they have in the past, 3 years? It really kicked up since what was that, Dominaria? And it's gone just wild since then. But I love it. I'm up to the challenge, and as of right now, I think it only stands. I have 400-ish decks left. So once I get done with the decks, I know that sounds weird. They're going to print more. Obviously, they're going to keep printing legends. I mean, sells products, so. But once I do get done, I'll only be done for one set. So, anyway, that is what I have got for now. And as I said, I appreciate. Thank y'all so much. And here's looking forward to the next 100 decks. So, I don't exactly know what deck number 800 is going to be. That's a lot of decks between now and then. But let me know what you think. Right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.